What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 2021 Badgers Game Room Tour. Yep, I just finished moving into a brand new home, which would explain the lack of reviews on the channel. It's been a very busy time, but we made it, guys. So I'll be sitting down right here, actually, to be working on the next review for everyone. I'm not gonna spoil the surprise, though. Where do we start? Let's see. This has been a project I've been working on lately, which was actually the last project I completed. The lights for the shelves. I always wanted to hook up every console. This way, if I go to a game store or a convention, well, rest in peace convention days, thanks to COVID, I could just come home, pop the game right in, test it, play it, or even just grab a game, walk on over, plug it in and start playing. I've always wanted that. And of course the light LEDs is a nice addition. It makes it look all fancy. But no, this is pretty much one game at a time, one game here and there. You know, over the years sort of adds up. You know, I've never had a real intention of collecting. It just happens. You know, I don't think I have the rarest of games, you know. I don't think I have Earthbound or anything like that, but I think I've got some good stuff. I definitely have most of what I played when I was a child. So it's not like I'm missing anything from my childhood. You know, anything I get from this point, to be honest, is just a bonus. You know, a bonus to the collection. Something I could, you know, experiment with, you could say. Awesome Halo statue. But no, let's get started. Let's start here. Yep, so we have the Badgers Game Room sign that I got from my wife. She had it custom made for me for Father's Day, Christmas, birthday, I'm not sure. But I love this thing when the lights are off. It really gives the room a nice glow. Ties the whole handheld section together nicely, I think. What do you think? So let's start with the handhelds. We got the Game Boy Advance in the box, the original. I keep it in there since I do have the Glacier here, the Glacier Game Boy Advance, which I actually modded. I'll show you that. Turn this puppy on with one hand. Yep, so I modded it at the Digital Ps2 store in Springfield, New Jersey. They do a hell of a good job there. Great service. They told me it was going to take 2 weeks. It didn't. The guy did it in a week. Very nice people. I recommend going there if you plan on modding any consoles or even just taking them repairs. You know, they'll take care of you over there. So I'm looking forward to popping in all my old original Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, seeing how they look with actual color instead of sitting under a lamp. But, I mean, sitting under a lamp or waiting on streetlights in the car was sort of part of the experience for Game Boy. I'm happy to own. This is my favorite Game Boy here. My favorite Game Boy color is the Pokemon. I love the colors on it. The yellow, the blue directional pad, the green and red buttons. And then you got little Pikachu there with Jigglypuff and Togepi. You know, I'm a Gen 1 Pokemon guy. I don't really know much about, a little bit about Gen 2, but I'm lost after that. And then, of course, the original Game Boy, a cherry red Game Boy Color. I tried to do these in some sort of order. I think it works. I guess if you look at it, you can't really tell unless I tell you I did it in order. You got the SP, which I bought with the intention of stealing the screen out of it. But I just couldn't do that. I couldn't. It's too nice. The AGS 101 model. So that just sits right there. Don't bother it. This is a proud find. I actually found this at a convention. I searched for it. The guy told me he had it. He gave me an insane price on it. I actually told him no thank you. I walked around the convention, bought a few other things, went back to the guy. He still had it. I think he gave it to me for $80. just because he saw that I was so interested. Nobody bought it. It was a Sunday. That's how you got to get them at conventions, on a Sunday. If they have something left, that's the time to negotiate, I think. And the Nintendo 2DS, which is actually my favorite form of playing 2DS and 3DS games. It's just a sturdy build. The screen is smaller, which helps really, because it keeps everything sharp and just not as pixelated as those bigger 3DS screens, which I have the 3DS Majora's Mask in here. Let me cut to that. There you go. The 3DS Majora's Mask, which I love this design. Get that. This didn't get any love on release. So it's starting to get popular now. So if you get the chance to scoop one of these up, scoop this up. Yep, and to show respect, you got the Pokemon games here. I don't have blue. I have red, yellow, which is my favorite, which is the first one I got. I actually convinced my mother to buy it for me, which was very, very rare. I rarely got new games as a kid. And I convinced her. I think she picked me up from school one day. We went to a doctor's appointment. And on the way back, we stopped at Bradley's. And I convinced her to buy that for me. We got Zelda DX, Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Tetris, Pokemon trading card game, which is can't get into it. I want to get into it because I like card-based fighting systems. If you're a fan of the channel, you saw that my Baten Kaitos review is a card-based fighting game. Pokemon Gold, which isn't my favorite second gen game. I like Crystal, but good luck finding Crystal. It's super hard to find, but I'm looking for that. So next, you'll see that soon. And some toys my son put there. That's actually his favorite Mario toy, and he's got Luigi there. And then I have Pokemon Yellow, little lamp rattle. Pokemon Yellow, the box and the manual and all that good stuff. And to the side over here, we got the Wii stand, which a friend gave to me. He was going to get rid of it. So I told him, no, don't get rid of it. Bring it over to me. It was not this clean. I had to clean it. It holds the Joy-Cons there. Some room for some more Joy-Cons. So I chose to put my Wii U titles in there. I think it turns out pretty well. Then, of course, the Wii games. Kirby's Dream Collection, special edition. I'm so happy to have the sleeve for this. You usually find this without the sleeve when you go to stores. You'll find it like this. Pull that out. I'm happy that I found one actually at a GameStop with the sleeve. So some noteworthy titles. Pokken Tournament, which my son loved. He loves fighting games for some reason. He's 5 years old. He loves fighting games. And he loves Pokemon. So I bought that for him. He loves it. You know, a lot of Wii U games are getting re-released on the Switch anyway. You got Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker HD, which hasn't gotten released, but I'm pretty sure they'll do it. They just announced today the Skyward Sword HD. So for the anniversary of the 35th anniversary of Zelda. And Metroid 2. So we still haven't gotten any news on any new Metroid games. Super Smash Bros. Tokyo Mirage got re-released. Smash Bros. Of course. Super Mario Bros. Might as well have gotten released. Super Mario Galaxy obviously got released. Super Mario Galaxy 2 has not gotten released. They'll probably saving that for the next 5-year anniversary of something. And under that, we have the PSP section. So, as much as I love Nintendo handhelds, Game Boy Advance, I love the PSP even more. That's a Vita. Don't worry about the Vita being there. I have nowhere else to put it. We'll go over that. I love the PSP. I think it's insane. It does everything. It plays movies. I know they were UMDs, but still, it plays movies. Got some more UMDs there. It plays movies. You can go surf on the web. I'm on a Reddit, PSP Reddit. They're putting YouTube on that thing. I think they're streaming Netflix. They found a way to stream Netflix on the PSP. It's got so many accessories, card chargers, GPS accessories. It's never ending. People who think the Game Boy had a lot of accessories, they would love the PSP because it's just as many wacky accessories. Some games of note: Persona 2, funny story. I want to say 7 years ago, I walked into a GameStop looking for retro games. I asked the clerk. He said, "I don't know, we got some PSP games here." He whipped out this little number. I picked it up for $17.99. I want to say this game is worth $199 at the moment because it's sealed, and it's the special edition with the soundtrack sealed. Brave Story. I did a review on Brave Story on my channel. Twisted Metal, Crisis Core. I mean, that's probably some people's favorite JRPG, let alone on the PSP. Gurumind, a monstrous adventure. I had fun with that for a little bit. It is a little kiddish, colorful, but I mean, it's good. It's good. If you like Nintendo stuff, you'll love this. Gurumind. You got the Grand Theft Auto, Liberty Stories, SOCOM series on there. Gran Turismo, which this Gran Turismo lacks a proper career mode, but it is still good. The Metal Gear game. Metal Gear Acid, which is card-based. I haven't given this one a shot. I did play it for a little bit, but I couldn't get into it. It's the card games, you know, you gotta kind of immerse yourself in that card-based fighting system. Let me move this out of the way. I want to show you a JRPG that most people don't know about. This is an imported version of 7th Dragon 2020. I bought the Japanese version because I obtained a digital version. Methods that I won't go over how I obtained it. So I felt like supporting them, so I picked it up, even though buying a used game really isn't supporting anybody, except for the reseller. Outrun 2006, I did a review on my channel about this. It's my favorite PSP game. If I ever find myself in an airport or on a road trip and I'm not driving, I pop this in, stay busy for hours. And Diner Dash. You got Mega Man, the Maverick Hunter. Awesome. And like I said, it plays UMDs, so I did decide to collect a few UMDs. It plays movies. I got Family Guy, Steam Boy, Men in Black, Ghostbusters. Anytime I find UMDs at thrift stores, I pick them up if I don't have them. King Arthur, ooh. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. If you haven't watched King Arthur, do yourself a favor. It's got bad reviews, I don't know why. But it's probably my favorite version of the King Arthur story. And of course, you got Akira, the anime. Yep, under all of that, you got the 360 section and some Dragon Ball Z DVDs. I try to maintain sort of a sectioned off kind of vibe to everything. You know, keep Wii things here, handheld here. But I mean, it doesn't work that way sometimes. And I'm trying to limit it on shelving because I was in the middle of upgrading my shelves to white. So I kind of gotta deal with what I have at the moment. But you know, in time, it's what it's about. In time, you kind of see where you can put things and you put them places. All right, that made a lot of sense. Borderlands 2. Witcher 2, before it got good. I'm sorry. Witcher 3 is probably where it started getting good. My favorite game on the system, actually. Well, favorite collection. Let's put it that way. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Such a wholesome collection. Every game is redone, looks amazing, plays amazing, solid games. And I think you can still find that pretty cheap. You know, my favorite Halo ODST here. I was looking through my camera, I couldn't tell where my finger was. Halo 3 ODST. Such a dark game. If you like the solitude of a Metroid, a Super Metroid, you'll like ODST. It's the story not of a Spartan. You don't follow a story of a Spartan. You're a Marine, but you're just on your own in a distant planet, you find yourself crash landed on there, and you find the history of Mombasa, I believe. And you know, you're reading about Mombasa, what happened. It's just awesome. And the Forzas, of course. You got some original Xbox games, Halo Reach, Halo 2, Virtua Fighter 5 Online. I broke a few controllers playing that in the past. The original Xbox section, which I intend on collecting more for. But it's got some notables: Fable, Ninja Gaiden, Halo 2, Half-Life, Time Splitters, Dead or Alive 3. And then you got the Dragon Ball Z 1 through 9, which is the complete Z series. Yeah, this is my favorite way of watching Dragon Ball Z. I know that it's a cropped image and the remastering kind of deteriorates everything, but that's my favorite way of watching Dragon Ball Z for the Bruce Faulconer soundtrack, and it's the dub that I grew up with. The next shelf we have, of course, the Halo Reach statue sitting on top, nice and pretty, and the two Pac-Man and Namco TV plug-and play games, which are pretty awesome. If you ever do find those, pick them up. They come preloaded with about 5 games or so, and it's a good time. Got the PS4 section right underneath it. Persona 5, of course. This is the original. It's not the Royale, but it is the collector's edition with the steel book. Slipcover, steel book. Another one I wanted to point out is for collectors, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Grab a physical copy of this if you can. This is a digital game that they removed from the store. You can only buy it physical. Pick that up if you're a TMNT fan or just a collector in general. Witcher 3, of course. Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age. It's unfortunate that they didn't have the orchestral music on that release. It's MIDI music, it sounds like, and it's just horrible, and it becomes very grating on you throughout the playthrough. But they did release it for the Switch eventually and PC. Bloodborne, Trackmania. I don't know if it's rare or not, but it's definitely a good physical release to have. I've had a lot of fun on this game. It's wacky racing with super crazy jumps. If you jump online, it's definitely speed related. It's all about speed and obviously getting in first place. But if you jump online, the things they're doing online with Trackmania is absolute bonkers. You get into custom courses that are 100 stories high with crazy jumps. It's a good time. Of course, I'm a Mega Man fan. People gift me the Mega Man Legacy Collection. I think my brother got me that, my middle brother. The Mega Man Original Collection, 1 through 8 from NES. Great way to play it. Some slight additional lag on there. Probably due to the HD TV. You know, you can put it in game mode. You know, it helps. But my favorite way to play them is on the original hardware, unfortunately. Shenmue 1 and 2. Ni no Kuni 2. Just such a disappointment. I bought the collector's edition and everything. Such a boring game. It's just a press square simulator, as I like to call it. Grand Theft Auto 5, Arkham Knight, solid title. Street Fighter 5. I had so much fun in that, even though a lot of people say it was catered towards noobs. I made sure to pick up the Home Alone 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. I keep my Blu-rays next to here just because they're the same size. And I'm a Godfather fan, and I'm a Batman fan, and I'm a Big Lebowski fan. Underneath it, you got the GameCube section. Fans of the channel will notice the one and only Baten Kaitos. People love that review for some reason. It's been getting reviews, good views on it. The Zelda games here: Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time. With the bonus disc for Master Quest. And behind here, again, see, I need more shelves. Becomes a pain. Some games of note: Mario Kart, Double Dash, Beautiful Joe, Dragon Ball Z Sagas. I like that game. Give it a shot. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I mean, they were trying for things. They were trying to make it an RPG. Sonic Riders, Frogger, One Piece Grand Battle. This Star Wars Bounty Hunter, apparently, which I realized after the fact. I think I watched the episode of Metal Jesus. He said that this cover is the, oh look, it says right there, limited edition cover art. This is the harder one to find. So I'm glad I found that. I think I found that going thrifting with a buddy of mine. I found that. Next to the GameCube games, you got the PS1 games. Legend of the Dragoon, I did a review of that on the channel. 2 Extreme. This is a prime example of a game best left in the past. Wow, it controls horribly. Me and my brothers spent a good week or two just mastering that game. And I play now and I suck. We got Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22, Tomb Raider, Mega Man 8, The Italian Job, Crash Bandicoot, Warped, Jet Moto. This was a game everybody in my school raved about. I was an owner of an N64 while everybody had PS1, and I heard everybody talking about Jet Moto. You know, we played Wave Race 64. Everyone else played Jet Moto on PlayStation, and I played the Jet Moto, and you can't compare Jet Moto to Wave Race. I'm sorry. Suikoden. I want to get Suikoden 2. But, I mean, if you know anything about Suikoden, it's expensive. Siphon Filter, this is the disc I did the review on the channel. Brave Fencer Musashi. I discovered this game through a demo disc on the PlayStation, which I want to buy. I think it's demo number 9 or something. Demo disc number 9. Final Fantasy. Lego Island. I had no other place to put it. This is probably the only PC game that I have. A lot of fun with this. This was like my first GTA, really. Throwing pizzas and donuts at people. Siphon Filter 2. I'm not going through everything. I'm just mentioning any notable ones. Spyro the Dragon, of course. Star Wars Masters of Terraskasi. Ridge Racer. This is the one to buy right here, actually. If you see R4, Ridge Racer Type 4, pick this one up. It's got other Ridge Racers built inside of it. 8 tracks, 45 unique car models, and 300 different car variations. Parasite Eve. Another game that's getting expensive. Don't know why. It's very, very good. People don't like Parasite Eve Part 2. I enjoy it. It's probably because it's the first one that I played. I had the strategy guide and everything. My friend Justin let me use it. And it's a very, very good game. She has powers. It's like a Resident Evil with tank controls, but it's got RPG elements. She's got tank controls and like sci-fi elements where she throws magic and you level up magic. It's very, very cool. Very, very good story too. A lot of locales in it. Gran Turismo 2, Chrono Cross, my favorite JRPG on the system. My brother got that for me for Christmas when I was a young lad. Such an adventure. It's a sequel to Chrono Trigger, obviously, with that name. But you might be disappointed. It's not in the same style of Chrono Trigger. The combat system veers off. You're controlling like elements, and you use stamina up when you use a certain level of elements. There's like 40 characters instead of the smaller amount in Chrono Trigger. But I mean, it's a great game, great graphics. If you're a fan of JRPGs, give Chrono Cross a chance. And you got the other Final Fantasies there. Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy 7, and Mega Man X5. And to the side of that, you got I've really been into shooters lately. Hint, hint. That's a review coming up on the channel once I can invite people over because of COVID. Time Crisis, Project Horned Owl. Time Crisis, which unfortunately is a 1-player game, not a 2-player game, so I wasn't able to play that with somebody. And then you get the Stragglers, the Dreamcast Stragglers. Ready to Rumble 2, Rippin' Riders, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of the Superheroes, Soul Calibur, and then the one and only Final Lap Twin, but that's for the TurboGrafx 16, this is a JRPG, not JRPG, an RPG, but with racing. Pretty cool. Check that out for TurboGrafx 16. It's still pretty cheap. Underneath that section, you got the Switch section, which isn't that big because I buy mostly digital. I found it easier just to upgrade the storage capacity on the Switch and just buy digital. This way my son can just play them without having to come down here all the time and swap cartridges. You got Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, which just came out. Awesome, awesome game. 3D World came out for the Wii U, but Bowser's Fury, geez, that's a really good game. If you're into Mario 64, think of it as a Mario 64, and I explain this to people, that continuously grows as you play it. So you start off in a small area where you collect like cats, shinies, I think they're called. And the more you collect, you know, you fight Bowser along the way. He's really, really pissed. And every time you defeat Bowser, you unlock a new island, the more shinies that you find. Awesome game. And you know, it has full camera control, unlike 3D Land and 3D World. You get full camera control like Odyssey and Mario 64. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening, Super Mario Kart, Odyssey, Has Been Heroes, 3D All-Stars, which is a huge disappointment, unfortunately. It's still a nice way to play these games. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you do find this physical, pick that up. You won't. It's hard to find, apparently. And yeah, it's about building stuff. That's the new craze these days. Starting from scratch, building things like Valheim just came out on PC. People love just building from scratch, gathering resources, and building. Mario and Rabbids, not too much. This was like around the time you'll notice when the Switch first came out. I was buying a lot of physical, but not so much anymore. The Wii, some game of notes, some games of note. The 25th anniversary Super Mario All-Stars, which is pretty much a ROM drop of the Super Mario All-Stars that came out for the Super Nintendo. Metroid Trilogy, which is an awesome, awesome way to play these three games. Even if it is with motion controls, it actually improves the gaming experience, believe it or not. Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn. Hard game to find. It's not that expensive. I mean, it's getting there. Pick that up if you find it. Xenoblade Chronicles. So many ways to play this now. You can play this on 3DS and the Switch. And that's the case for Super Mario All-Stars. Rune Factory, Tides of Destiny is like a... If you were into Harvest Moon series, I believe it's the same creator. Marble Madness. If you were a fan of my Nintendo video, you know that Marble Madness is one of my favorite stories or games. I want to play Last Story. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, this is a problem with a lack of shelves. I gotta put the 3DS games in front of the Wii games. I want to play The Last Story for the channel. If you're a fan of the channel, let me know if you want to see a review on that game. Mad World, a very stylish, gory Wii game. So pick that up if you can, while you can. Tatsunoko versus Capcom, which is a fighting game. Skyward Sword, which they just announced today, is getting an HD release on Switch. Yep, and like I said, in front of that, you got the 3DS collection. Not the biggest in the world, but I got some solid stuff. Mario Party. My son enjoys that. He loves that game. Super Mario. Sticker Stars, which is, you know, doesn't get a good rap these days. Ocarina of Time. Awesome way to replay the original. I know that people say that that's the original vision that they had for that game. I refuse to believe that, although it very well might be true. Super Smash Brothers, also another impressive game on 3DS. I don't know, it's just playing that on the 2DS, everything's so smaller, so the characters look a lot crisper. Kid Icarus Uprising, super hard game. Another game I was disappointed with, Persona Q2. It's a labyrinth, literally a labyrinth. You know, you get those first-person dungeon view, which I'm not a fan of, like Shining series. Bravely Second and Bravely Default, which also got released today, announced today, the third in the Brave series for Switch, which was one of the hopes that I had. I was hoping that the Switch, was going to take over the 3DS, and I was hoping that anything people had in mind for the 3DS was going to be released for the Switch. So I'm glad that the Brave series moved on to the Switch. Down here we have the PS2 section, which I'm not a fan of this divider here. I was thinking of building a custom shelf here and getting some pegs. It's pretty easy to do, actually. I should do that. If you're a fan of the channel, you'll see that I have a lot of PS2 game reviews. I usually do 5 at a time in each video. And I get them from this batch. I get the Max Payne, Onimusha. I'm a huge fan of the Onimusha series. That's one. And I have them separately. I just kind of threw them on here. I should really put them in order, shouldn't I? 2 and 3. Persona 4. San Andreas, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, the original, Final Fantasy X, Simpsons Road Rage, Devil May Cry, the SOCOM series, Max Payne, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. I want to review that for the channel. That's why I haven't put that on the compilation videos. I want to review that. I want to give that the respect it deserves on one whole video. Barbarian, which is like a Super Smash Brothers ripoff of just no-name characters. It's not even Sony characters. It's just no-name barbarians. Crazy Taxi, Sly Cooper 2, Dragon Quest 8, which I want to review because I find it insane that this is so graphically similar to a PS4 Dragon Quest. So I want to review that for the channel. So the Sonic Mega Collection, Unreal Tournament, The Bouncer, which was, I believe, a launch title, Mark of Kree, I reviewed for the channel, Prince of Persia, I reviewed for the channel, Zone of Enders, The Second Runner. If you find this game in the wild, pick that up. The second game of the Zone of Enders is getting rarer by the day. Rygar, which is like a God of War clone. Digital Devil Saga, which is a Shin Megami Tensei game. Pick that up if you see it. The original Zone of Enders, Splashdown, the Sega Genesis. I'm a sucker for these Sega Genesis collection compilations. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I gotta stop buying these too. True Crime, Streets of LA, the original. This gives GTA a run for its money. I don't care what you say. This is an awesome. I know, and then a good friend of mine, Carlos, loves the Streets of New York. He loves Streets of New York, which is also very, very good. The Onimushas, of course, Grand Theft Auto, Godfather, Okami, Top Spin, SSX. So many good games at PS2. This is why I love making videos for the PS2. Dynasty Warriors, God of War, Ready to Rumble Boxing. And like I said, I'm trying to gather as many gun games as I can, like light gun games as I can. I'll be reviewing this for the channel as well. Once COVID is over, I can invite some people over and play it. Champions Return to Arms is getting up there in price. I hate to be that guy who's always mentioning how rare his stuff is, but like I said, I really don't have that much rare things like you would think. But that's getting up in price. Pick that up. It's more of an advisory than it is bragging. Dark Alliance, Turok Metal Gear Solid 2, which is an insane release for the console. People still are amazed at the graphical intensity of this game. Metal Gear Solid Collection, which is sealed, which I have no reason to open it. I just thought it was cool that it has all three. You do get the first one too in a PS2 box, the second one and the third one, which the third one is my favorite, Snake Eater. When they changed the camera angle, I believe when they changed that camera angle for subsistence, something. They're always making up words. Under that, you got the Batman DVDs. I'm a big fan of Batman. When I'm not playing video games, I watch Batman DVDs. In The Office. Gotta have The Office on DVD. especially since they just removed it off Netflix. Next up, we have the sofa area. This is where your pal sits and just lounges out playing some games. Awesome sofa from Walmart. Very sturdy. You can take naps on there. It opens up into a bed, actually. So if I ever fall asleep, I'll be all right down here. Get the Pokeball with Pikachu. The green, blue, and pink Yoshi. My Zelda blanket that I forgot where I bought it. It might have been Target or even GameStop, actually. And I love these little 8-bit Nintendo pillows, which are not really pillows. They're pretty hard, actually. They're pretty cool because they got that pixelated style. And Mega Man, of course, got to give him the respect he deserves. Isn't that the cutest Mega Man ever? And then the Amiibos. I stopped collecting Amiibos, to be honest. It just gets insane. That and the Pops. It gets out. I'll pick up a character that I love here and there. You know, Simon Belmont. Why not? But it's over. And then Incineroar, which is my favorite starter for Sun and Moon. Well, he's the final evolution for my favorite starter. And then next to the sofa, you got the newly organized, sort of like thrown together area. First and foremost, I want to put these PSPs on a shelf. I have the shelf that I'm putting here. I usually display them on a shelf. So I just need the brackets for the shelf. I'll put up the shelf and the PSPs will go right there beautifully. But yeah, I love the PSP. I'm sort of a collector for it. As you can see, my favorite one is the God of War edition, the red one. I got a pink Japanese model, a white minty fresh PSP that I picked up on a Craigslist deal a few years ago. The dude was super shady. We met up at like a Dunkin' Donuts. He was itching to get out. I gave him 80 bucks for this, the case, and like a bag full of games. You know, no questions asked. I'm not gonna ask questions. You want 80 bucks? I'll give you 80 bucks. We got the silver one, which I didn't realize was unique. The screen is not scratched. This is actually the protector. It actually flips up. The silver Daxter, I think, came with that one. Like a Daxter bundle. The blue one, which is also a nice vibrant color. Behind that, we have the Gba Games, which apparently are the same size as Zippos and can be displayed in a Zippo case. Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, Mario Kart. I think the most notable would be Mega Man and Bass, which was a Japanese-only Mega Man game, which is awesome that they released it on GBA. I have the GameCube adapter that lets me play that on TV, so it's like almost playing it on Super Nintendo. Speaking of Super Nintendo, next to it you got the Super Nintendo games. Which I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now, you can buy nail polish stands to display games. It's very, very useful. You got the Super Game Boy. I know this is the first model and the second model plays them better, but I'm fine with that one. I don't think it's a big deal. Knights of the Round, Donkey Kong Country, Secret of Evermore. I want to finish that. I started it, didn't finish it. Which my Donkey Kong isn't holding save files. I need to swap out the battery. Correct me if I'm wrong. R-Type Star Fox, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario RPG, F-Zero, Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time, me and my son play that all the time. He loves it. He's in like a Ninja Turtles phase, so it's awesome that I get to play that with him. Chrono Trigger, Zelda, Mega Man X, which is the music you've been hearing, and just, you know, some loose ones here. X-Men, SimCity, Super Star Wars. Next to the Super Nintendo games, you got the Game Boy games, which I need to find a better way of displaying them. I'm probably, once I get rid of this area here, kind of hooked up on the wall, the PSP and GBA, I'll get another nail polish holder and put the Game Boy games on there. Now under here, it's a little messy, but not really. because there's a rhyme and a reason to this. You got the books here, Zelda books, The Witcher Collector's Edition. You got the cases for games that I have displayed loosely. I don't like really keeping games in the box because when I realize they're in the box, I'm too lazy to get them out of the box. I want them loose so I could just grab them and play them. Some PS3 games of note, kind of sectioned here together. 3D Dot Game Heroes. It's like a Zelda clone, not really a clone, but like a tribute game on PS3. Very pixelated in that Minecraft style. Motorstorm, Resident Evil 5, The Last of Us, of course. Probably my favorite in the series. Well, there's only two, but still. Metal Gear Solid 4, I have to give that a shot. I haven't played it. I picked that up once I started reviewing games, and that's just so long. I need to dedicate like a month. I'll probably review that then in that case. God of War, Uncharted, SOCOM, another Genesis collection, Uncharted 2, and then just like a loose case just to kind of hold things tight. Next to here, again, we got the boxes for the games that you saw up there, Star Fox, Zelda, Star Wars. This is actually like a aftermarket case, third-party case, which I'm not a fan of. I just bought it just to see how I like them. I don't like these too much. The NES Advantage. We're a big Uno house. Me and my wife play Uno all the time. This is one of the first games we played while we were dating. And then underneath here, there's a storage section for like controllers, like the go-to controllers. I have another section for controllers, but this is like the most recent consoles that I'm playing. Just come here and grab them. And just like some cases for PSPs, and then a Switch stand, nails for like hanging up stuff, some hardware there, doorbell. And then behind that, you got the sports games and Call of Duty games, which unfortunately I can care less about. They're just back there. Can't throw them away. It's like throwing out beer. You can't throw out things. And then right there, two cups, two Zelda mugs. I gotta find a better way to display those. Next to it, the Pops. Again, like the Amiibos, I stopped collecting them. I'm a Batman fan, so I collected as many Batman ones as I could. Got a Frozen one snuck in there. And got, which is weird, a Courtney Cox, Monica Geller chef hat pop, which is getting rare, believe it or not. My lady picked that up. And here we got the Gun Cons. Again, see? I'm trying to get into Gun Con games, or Joy-Con, or not Joy-Con, light gun games. So I'm picking up as many light guns as I can. And I got the special adapters you need for them, which is annoying because these are expensive. You gotta buy them separately most of the times. Underneath here, got more controllers. You got a Sega Saturn controller, Nintendo controller, kind of a third-party PS2 controller, NES Advantage. These are just controllers that it's more people want to play. Just like player 2 controllers, basically. And underneath here, the power supplies. A controller made its way in here. Don't know why, but like the extra power supplies for consoles. Now for the Nintendo section, which I mean, I went over these in another video. I've gotten probably another 20 original Nintendo games since that video, so I'm not going to really go into detail. This is a Nintendo in the box that I got from a lady selling it on Marketplace for like 60 bucks. So I never had one, and I like the way the boxes look in a game room, so I picked it up. The Sega section. Think of a better way, if you can tell me a better way to put these. I figured labels out, but then it's hard for me to grab them. You know, you can't have them this way, because you don't really know what's there, but you can pull it out and know. So let me know a better way. I got Mortal Kombat, Jurassic Park, NBA Jam, X-Men, which is crazy. It hasn't aged well, but it has, if that makes any sense. It's still a good game. Lion King. I believe this is Yeah, this is the combo that everybody has. Hang On and Safari Hunt for the Master System. Cyberball, which I'll fix later. Sonic 2. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Quack Shot, which is a game we rented as a kid a lot. Sonic 2. Super Monaco. Sonic the Hedgehog. Disney's Aladdin. Streets of Rage. This was one of my son's favorite series. Jordan vs. Bird. And Blockout. Underneath there, you got the Sega Saturn section. Not too big for obvious reasons. They're super expensive. So I collected some notable ones that I used to play. Nights into Dreams, Clockwork Knight. These were just cheap, so I picked them up. Criticom. And this came with the system. Whenever you buy like a system from Digital Press, they usually pack in like a sports title. Which is, I mean, nice. You still get to test it out. Daytona USA, awesome racing game. And then the Sega Saturn 3 pack, which is a hell of a deal. You get Virtual Fighter 2 pre-patch, meaning like it didn't come with like the shaders and all that stuff. Virtual Cop, Daytona USA. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that one didn't come with the shaders, unless it did on this version. And then just some boxed games, a small Vita section. My brother's really big into collecting Vita games. I gotta get on that. Gravity Rush, Trails of Cold Steel, Soul Sacrifice, Death of Mark Limited Edition, Severed from Limited Run Games. Gravity Rush is probably my favorite Vita game. I've told many people this. I think it uses the Vita technology the best. By that I mean it uses it in a way that still makes the game fun, like the motion controls, the touchpad on the back, and the game is fun. It's still fun as a result. You don't feel forced into using those features. You got the N64 section. On this one, unfortunately, I haven't bought the end labels. Wave Race, Super Mario 64, Sarge's Heroes, it's like a racing game, Beatles Adventure Racing, Zelda Majora's Mask, NWO Wrestling. I have a lot of wrestling games. I pretty much have the ones everybody played. WWF, Attitude. These were the best. FIFA 99, Extreme G. I did a review on the channel. Awesome, super cybernetic future racing game. Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Snap. I should have my son play that. He likes Pokemon. And this is pretty simple. Lamborghini Diablo Racing, which is, one from our childhood that we have a fascination for. It's a horrible game. Zelda, Ocarina of Time, my favorite N64 game. Killer Instinct, the game that pretty much got me into fighting games. Mission Impossible, awesome game. Espionage, sort of like Metal Gear, but not really, because it's not as elaborate. Extreme G2, awesome follow-up. Perfect Dark, I mean, come on. Soccer game. Dark Rift, I think that's just like something I got in a lot. Castlevania, awesome game. I know people hate it, but it's pretty good. For a 3D game back in the day, I think now when you play it, yeah, it's horrible, but for back in the day, it wasn't bad. 1080, I can't. So bad. Body Harvest. Winback. Yeah, I just picked this one up recently. It like a Metal Gear clone, but not really. Third person, sort of cover shooter. Very fun. You can beat it quickly, and it's got good replay value. Rayman 2. Talk about awesome platformers. I know everyone talks about Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, obviously, but if you want a good platformer, pick up Rayman 2, The Great Escape. They also have a Dreamcast version, which some say is better. Mario Kart 64, Ready to Rumble, again, another Dreamcast game. Turok 2, Force Gemini. Another game that I had fun in the past playing, but it doesn't hold up. It's not that good of a third-person action shooter. Diddy Kong Racing, classic. Wipeout 64, Pilot Wings, Forsaken 64, Donkey Kong 64. This gets a bad rap. It's a good platform. I don't know why everybody hates it. It's right up there with Banjo-Kazooie, Rayman 2, Mario 64. You know, 3D platformers where you collect stuff was a thing. You know, and Donkey Kong's no different. And then the Nintendo section. If you want a full video of my Nintendo section, I have one on the channel. No Derek Jeter card stuck in there. And here we have the consoles. But before we get to the consoles, I'll show you the table. This notepad out of the way. Alright, so the table, it's got some coasters on there. His and Hers coasters. A Batman animated series book that I use as my big coaster. Which unfortunately, I was gonna collect this and keep it as a collector's item, but it came all bent from Amazon. I didn't feel like bothering them and having them send me a new one, so I just left it at that. Still pretty cool. It's like some guy that redrew a lot of like classic scenes from Batman the Animated Series. But underneath, you got your comics. This is a Club Nintendo. This is before Nintendo Power, a magazine that my friend found for me. Carlos, thank you. He found this, thought of me, and gave it to me. But I keep a lot of comics here. You know, something that if people come over or if I'm sitting here and I'm not in the mood really to play a game, I can still look through some entertaining stuff. The official Nintendo's Player's Guide, which I found in pretty good nick, as they'd say. With, I want to say this is a picture that the Angry Video Game Nerd signed for me, yes. He ran out of other ones, so James AVGN and Bootsy signed this for me. I met them at a con. You know, Rough Justice, Alex Ross. He's a very good artist. He draws DC. And a lot of comics, a lot of hardcover comics. I like hardcover stuff so they won't wear out. All right, so the console section. You got the 55-inch LG CX TV, which I bought in preparation for the PS5. It's one of the best TVs for the PS5. That currently has the PS4 hooked up to it in the Xbox One and not the Wii U, because I didn't hook up the Wii U because mostly everything is on the Switch and Wii. But let's take a closer look. Got the PS3 here. The PS3 I keep for playing most PS2 games, since this is a backwards compatible model, that I bought from a kid at a yard sale. A very nice little kid. He didn't let me negotiate too heavily with him, so good for him. He stuck to his guns. I picked it up, still pretty cheap, I think 20, 25 bucks. I play all my PS2 games on there, PS3 obviously. I keep it nice in the open, just because these are prone to overheating. Got the Switch hooked up next to it. I mean, that's where me and my son play all our co-op Mario games. Got the Wii there. Got the PS4 Star Wars Edition with the VR hooked up, ready to go, and the external hard drive. Now, these are just there for backups. Got a PS4 Slim, not a Slim, the original model, which has PT on it. So I'm not gonna. That's one of the main reasons why I don't sell that. You can't really find PT anymore. The 360 with Outrun, with my digital version of Outrun on there, and the original Xbox, which I found at a yard sale. And you got the Wii U, Xbox One, you got the Sega Dreamcast. You know, like I said, everything's hooked up except for the Wii U. You got the PlayStation 1 there with a hooked up PS2 in front of it. I didn't hook up the PS1 because you just play everything on the PS2 anyway, and they do pick up the memory cards. So like if I want to play Chrono Cross, I just pop that memory card in, I can pick up. I got the Sega Saturn, the TurboGrafx 16. You got the N64 with the 2 transfer packs there in the back, which were used for playing Pokemon, which you could put your Pokemon game from Game Boy in here and play in Pokemon Stadium. As far as any other use of that, I'm not sure, unless they hacked it for some reason and you can play Game Boy games, which I doubt it. GameCube with the Wavebird and the Game Boy Advance player. And I have the disc over there. I should have showed you that before. And the Nintendo with Rob the Robot on top of it. And my original Nintendo, which I'm giving a break in life. It still works, but I just want to give it a break. This is a Nintendo I found on a Craigslist deal. And the original Genesis with a Master System adapter. The power-based converter. And there's Rambo currently inside. So yeah, these are the lights me and a friend installed. Lou, thank you, Lou. Great job. You know, he had done this before for his son in his room on the wall using diffusers. So he said, you know what, let's just put them in your cabinets. And it worked out. It gives everything a nice, classy feel. And on top, every console you see is hooked up to these switchers. Which is a pain, kind of. Not really. The initial setup is a pain, but once you get it going, it's good. You just press these buttons and you can play whatever console is hooked up, as you can see. Only the Nintendo is on at the moment, the Super Nintendo, so that's why. And then I have the SNES Mini because, you know, a lot of times people come over and I don't have a certain Super Nintendo game, so I hacked this and I put all the most wanted games on there. And people can play when they come over. And I don't necessarily have to have the physical copy. But I still would like them. I still collect. Not all the consoles are hooked up to this Sony 27 Trinitron. I love this thing. This is part of the family, actually. I had this for years. I'm glad I can put it to use finally again on this cabinet. Down here we have some storage, a laptop for like when I hack the consoles. This is what I use. It's got all the ROMs in there. So hard to find ROMs these days. And above here we got the sort of the figurines. And you got Zombie Batman, Justice League figures, Contra, which I got as a gift from my brother, thank you. Batman, Goku, Last of Us Part 2, Ellie, a Batman picture signed by Kevin Conroy. This is an original Goku / Vegeta that I drew. And this is my computer section. Turn that on. This is where I do my editing, my PC gaming. You know, some more statues here. This is an original Pokemon starter set that I kept sealed. I want to say there's a Charizard in here. Who knows? Pac-Man replica arcade, which still works. You know, Dwight Schrute. Again, I'm a very good fan. I'm a big fan of The Office. NES Mini. This has got all the Nintendo games in here, but I'm so occupied by the SNES Mini that I really don't need this one hooked up too. Gambit, my favorite X-Men. Rogue, came as a set. Batman again. I love like weird Batman figures like this, like where he's just weird looking, like a zombie or bat, a man bat. I got Vegeta there. You know, and this is where I do my PC gaming and my editing. One screen for like OBS, and then my main LG, I think 20 inch, 22, 24, and some speakers, some studio reference speakers, just to help in the editing, make everything sound lovely. My Yeti microphone, an M audio interface, and my gaming PC. Let's move this out of the way. This is my gaming PC. It's got a 2060, RTX 2060, a Ryzen 7 processor, and a Cooler Master Tower. I love this thing. I've had a lot of fun PC gaming lately. And again, this is for the channel. This is so I can give you guys better content, better quality, everything. And under, you know, I store some more cables that I need, more controllers, headset, more wires. You can never have enough wires. They used to laugh at me for saving everything, but when I need wires, I always find them. And then this is my son's. We bought this for him. He loves, like I said, Super Smash Brothers, so this was awesome for him to have. I hung that up for him. And just some pictures that I had picked up from my art con from, I want to say, Chrissy Lusso. Look her up. She's very, very talented. Chrissy Lusso. She's like an artist, independent artist, I want to say, maybe. Is that what you call it? But that's it. That's the whole game room. Actually, no, there's more storage in here. For like wires and stuff. It's bad. It's bad. But you gotta have this kind of stuff. That's the game room. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot more reviews now since I'm all settled in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, what you recommend, how to display certain things. Definitely those. How do I display those? Who knows? And more coming soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching, guys. See you on the next one.